Hello, and welcome to Mornings with a Mentor. My name is Diller Schwartz, and I'm your host. Please join me on Wednesday mornings at 8:30 a.m. while I interview top talent in our KW Austin family.
The three priorities is growth, production, and then I have wellness for my personal third one. And so kind of go back, we talked a little bit about the growth when we first started, but getting a few more missing pieces into the team and into our organization. We have around 20 people total on our team. And so those missing pieces of one or two more commercial agents and 1 to 3 inside salespeople, that will help foster growth.
All right, so we're just going to jump into this. Kasey, go ahead and tell us who you are, what market center you're in, a little bit about you.
Okay. Yeah, my name's Kasey Jorgenson, and I've been with Keller Williams and affiliated with Keller Williams since really 2009. And then our hub is based out of the Northwest Market Center in Austin. And we have an expansion team in the Southwest Market Center. And we also have an expansion team in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Yeah.
All right. And then also going to ask if you were hiring today, or are you hiring today? And then if you're hiring, who do we contact, and give us like the short elevator pitch of the person you're looking for?
Oh, great question. Right now we have 2 priorities for us. We are looking for inside salespeople. So 1 to 3 inside salespeople to run that division for us. That's a typical like Wolf of Wall Street, telephone terrorist, hit the phones, hit the emails, hit the texts. But also like with great customer service skills like Nordstrom. So rare breed, but that's who we're looking for that. Then we're looking for people that want to come into commercial, because we built out a commercial division with my partner, Amy Venhorst, and we've built a really good process and system for that. And she is going to be looking for somebody to head that up for us at some point in the next probably 6 to 12 months. So that's what we're looking for on that front. What was the other question?
That's it. Who are you looking
Was it?
for? Oh, and then if we needed to contact you, or somebody may be interested that hears this video, how would they get in touch with you? Do you have an admin or someone?
Yeah, so we have a careers page on our website, so jorgensonrealestate.com, and we also, you can email careers@jorgensonrealestate.com, and that'll get to the right people.
Careers at JORGENSON real estate.com. Okay, guys, I put that in the chat. And then when we make the video too, we'll make sure you have that. And you mentioned something very interesting, because I started out as an ISA-ish. I was like an executive assistant ISA, and like I'm literally in the booth because I still do like the ISA role. I love it. For those who maybe aren't sure what that is, why is that so important to you? And what's the growth plan? Like, give me the short explanation of what's the growth plan for an ISA.
So for us, when we grew our team, I focused on hiring people that were amazing at conversion. And that means getting in front of a client and converting them to an appointment. And that's where they spend most of their time. We have a really awesome conversion rate. Most of the people on the team convert 90% or more of their new client appointments. And so that's awesome. But what we realize, it's a different skill set for somebody to be sitting on the phone and converting those to appointments. And so that's why that came up. We have a team full of converters, but we don't have a big like lead generation.
Oh,
It's okay.
I think that's someone on your team butting in.
Nope, no, we're not gonna. That was Hillary. We love
That's
them.
right.
We so yeah, so we're looking for that. The growth track, we track our numbers and our conversion rates, and we've been doing that for a while. And so when you factor out fallout rates and things like that, and the deals that just the clients that don't end up closing, the growth track is mostly financial and ends up being a big portion of our gross commission. So that role will make anywhere from $80,000 to $250,000 a year, and they have the flexibility of like working their own hours because leads come in at all hours, and we follow a system there, and have a team that will work it together and schedule things together. And
Perfect. I mean, I feel like that my foundation really, if I would not have been in this sort of ISA role for a while, and fallen in love with it the way that I did, I think I would be a total different agent today. I don't know that the dealer group or anything would exist because that foundation just, it's like at my core to get in, to make the dials, to work on the conversion. So, all right, well, let's get started. So, first question, Kasey, have I asked you any of these questions?
no, I have no idea what's coming, so it should be
Sweet.
fun.
Let's do it. All right. So give us a look at what are your priorities today?
Um, well, if you look at 135, my own 135, right now it's the three priorities is growth, production, and then I have wellness for my personal third one. And so kind of go back, we talked a little bit about the growth when we first started, but getting a few more missing pieces into the team and into our organization. We have around 20 people total on our team. And so those missing pieces of one or two more commercial agents and 1 to 3 inside sales people, that will help foster growth. We are putting a pause on hiring actual salespeople because I want our current salespeople who are proven closers to have enough pending production under their belt before we start throwing more salespeople into the mix. So,
And you're referencing, just for clarity, salespeople are buyers agents, sellers are listing agents, correct?
correct. Yeah. Yeah. So that's really kind of the main priority right now. And I've been taught over time, the problem is always people and the solution is always people. So that's our main thing right now is fine tuning and getting the right people for the market that we're in. The second priority being production is just, and this was great. Aaron talked about this at our team meeting yesterday. But when you look at when you're talking about priorities, a lot of people just they when they do the planning, they look at all the things that they haven't done well, and then they try to put that onto their goal sheet, and they're like, oh, I didn't do this well, so it goes on their goal sheet. For us, like we do pretty well with our production, comparatively to where we are with the market. And so focusing and leaning in and doubling down on the things that are going well, that's the other priority. So enhancing that. And then the last thing, which I mean, a lot of people, I put wellness. If you want to show up and like execute and win this, like you have to take care of your head, you have to take care of your body, you have to take care of like having whatever balance means for you and everything like that. So that's my own personal kind of third thing on my GPS for
I
the
love it. For those of you who don't know, he's saying GPS or a 135. It's a Keller Williams tool. You can email me or I'll throw it in the chat here in a little bit, some links to those. There's various forms. I strongly suggest you figure it out. Go to one of the classes that KW offers on this, and or just find an accountability partner and work through that. And you guys just have some coffee once or twice a month and get that going. Okay, so you may not have the same lead gen goals as some of the agents who are on the call in their first like 3 years or so. But what are your lead gen goals? And then let's also maybe talk about what are your expectations for an agent on your team and their lead gen goals
Sure.
daily?
So my lead gen goals change as we find the people because it's mostly around, well, it's twofold. I have my own database over time. And so a big part of what we do, and I don't know if everyone here has heard of like never ending referrals or DTD2, but that's a big part of what we do. So we contact our database once a quarter. So everyone that we meet and that we have tagged as someone that we know or our past clients, we try to have an actual two-way conversation at least once per quarter. So that's a big goal of ours, is to do that. The other goal, which the team members agree to really strive for, is to add 5 new people to their database each week and do that. And that can be done in a number of ways. We have people on the team that love open houses. We have people on the team that hate open houses. We have people that love networking and people that don't. And so everyone kind of discovers the lane that they want to be on, and then we help encourage them to go and meet 5 new people every week to get them into the database on average. So that's that's kind of that expectation. For me, it's a combination of making sure my database is communicated with. It gets tough at this stage to do that.
Yeah.
Um, like really tough. Like you meet a lot of people and like, it's Aaron also talked at the team meeting yesterday about juggling those balls, and the work one is a rubber ball and everything else is glass. And sometimes when the database gets big enough of people you meet, you drop the ball sometimes. And so that's a big challenge for me, and trying to fix that and stay in touch with them meaningfully. Um, but yeah, mine changes. My target changes constantly with that based off of who we need, because my lead gen is more around growth at this point than anything.
Perfect. All right. So how do you know that you won the day?
Oh, like right now in this market,
In Kasey's world, in Kasey's mind, because that's where a lot of this starts out, right? We talked about wellness. So how do you know you won the day? You go home and you get that cute little son of yours and you're just like,
you know, right now for me, it's twofold. Thing number one, if somebody from our team reached out and had a need, I've talked with them and we have at least settled on a plan for whatever it is that they need. I've answered their question, I've coached them, I've done something, or we have a plan for it. That's thing number one. As you transition from production into leadership, they become the client, the customer, the people on the team. And so making sure that they're taken care of is a win. If I go to bed and one of them have reached out to me and I haven't talked to them or told them, let's chat in the morning or something, that's a loss. That's a loss for me. Thing number two is every day has kind of a to-do list of sorts. And so just making sure that most of that got done. The
perfect.
important stuff got done.
Okay. So, um, we sort of touched on this a second ago about, just as you grow, your database grows. And so what do you think the rough estimate size of your, or the rough size of your database is right now?
Would define database for your
Yours
time.
personally.
My personal Met database, I've narrowed it down. I think I'm just under 500.
Okay, so I love the fact that if you guys didn't hear that or aren't paying attention, he said met. So he's really, shaving off some of the fat and saying these are the people I met. So my next my next question is, so as realtors, we typically say I have this database, they're all my clients, right? We love our egos and we have all these clients floating around. Um, how many people out of those 500, if I were to call today, would say, Kasey's my realtor? And what did you do to solidify that?
So I'll say some of them, I would hope most of them would say that. Some of them, because we're so heavy with like networking and things, we have overlap on our team. And so they may not say Casey's my realtor, but they may say, Amy's my realtor or Crystal's my
Right.
realtor or something like that. That whole thing, I'm at a different stage. We have leverage on our team. Like we have a full-time marketing person and 3 staff people that help execute a lot of these things. So it's not always apples to apples, but we do a really good job of being present when it's not physically possible to be present, the best that we can. And so that's done with a lot of our events, is what we've done. We tried to have some kind of a quarterly or more touch point by some kind of an event, to do that. That's been a huge part for us. Like we're doing photos with Santa this year for our client appreciation party. We're doing a gingerbread decorating contest. We've done the pie pop buys in the past. We've done all different kinds of things and in different ways. And so that's been a big part of it. And it's things that it's either fun or it's adding value to them. And that's, I think, how we stay in touch with them meaningfully.
And you can do these at small scale, right? You can do pies. You can give 10 people a pie. You don't have to give 500 a pie. You can do photos with Santa, even just by letting your database know where photos with Santa are in town, right? Or for those
Yeah.
of you who are on the call, just take these bigger ideas and scale it down until you grow. What you shouldn't do is just not do anything, right?
Yeah, and the other thing, there's been a lot of conversations around it, but we developed a way, and anybody can do this, but we organize similar to Brian Buffini, not exactly, but we organize our database based off of the people that actually send us referrals. And so we have our A plus people who send us 2 or more referrals in a 12-month period. We have our A list people, which send us a referral at least once in a 12-month period. And then it kind of goes to everyone else, past clients in that sphere and so on. And so when you're starting out and when we're starting out, you may only have 5 to 8 people that sent you a referral in a year. And those are the ones that, like Diller said, you go drop pies off with and love on them. Because
And they
those
may
are,
not be past clients either. They could be someone that you worked with or someone at your kid's school.
oh yeah.
They
So,
don't have to have the completed the transaction with you, right?
yeah, no. And some of our, I mean, some of my A list are agents from other cities. Like they're still on my A list, so they get gifts in the mail. Or we've got vendors that send us business. Like my painter is one of my top referrers. And so we have, and we also, I mean, we have title company people that send us business too. And so yeah, it all depends. And that's why we track it based off of those tags of A plus or A list.
And then you love on them. All right, so this is my favorite question because my volumes actually increased a little bit by doing this. All right, I know that you're not so much in production every day, but I do know that you could jump right in and do this. So you have 14 days or less to get a client under contract that you currently don't have an agreement with. What are you doing? And you can pick buyer or seller. You cannot do commercial right now.
With or without a budget.
Whoever's your sort of ideal client, like who, if I were your supervisor and said, Kasey, this is it, you got 14 days or less to get someone um buyer rep or listing agreement signed, and you need to get them under contract 14 days or less. Where are you going? What are you doing?
So I would do multiple things and I would schedule it out like crazy, and my 2 weeks would be insane. But I'd be doing 2 open houses a day on Saturdays and Sundays first. Those are the highest likelihood of doing this. And my mindset around that would be you need to get face to face with people as soon as possible. And to me, that's the fastest way to do it.
When
So
you say 2 open houses a day, Saturdays or Sundays, I think we confuse a little people because we've had a few other realtors say that. Can you explain how do you do 2 on a Saturday, 2 on a Sunday? What does that schedule look like for you?
I would do one from probably 11 to 1, and then I bump over to a different house nearby, and I would do it from like 2 to 4 or 2 to 5. So you're getting 2 different properties, and I would make them similar but different enough to capture 2 different audiences of buyers.
Okay.
So that would be thing number one to get in front of people. Thing number two, it would be on the phones. I would be calling um, lenders to find out if they've got buyers, like my closest lenders, and I'd be
Mm-hmm.
hounding them. I'd say, let's go to dinner. Do you have buyers that don't have an agent that are hitting you up? And I would try to lean into my allied resources there. And then I would be hitting the phone with the rest of the time, getting in touch with builder sales reps that I've got good reputations with, my past clients, and my other Met sphere. And I would just do an absolute blitz with that. Maybe even like a reverse bold 100. Um, so it'd be a combination of open houses on the weekends, hitting the phone all day during the week.
All right. No one, we've had a lot of open houses with agents, but no one's actually said call their allied resources and lenders. It's a great one. All right. So the last question I have for you is we ask all of our agents, what's an action item that you feel agents, let's say three years in or so, should have on their calendar? Some of the examples that we have would be sending 10 handwritten notes weekly, gratitude calls, scheduling your open houses by 3 p.m. on Wednesday so that you can door knock and do that prep. Um, we've had a few people say do miracle morning. What what is your tied or your action item weekly that you
Uh,
like?
it's twofold for me. So thing number one would be getting in front of face to face with people. Scott Maloof and Jason Abrams talked about the 51st dates thing. A lot of people are talking about that, where you do a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner with somebody like every week, and it depends on that. So I think getting face to face time with somebody that's in your A plus category in some manner needs to be more regimented, in my opinion. The other side is, which nobody ever talks about, time off. Like nobody schedules a chunk of a day or a day to like go have self-care and take time off. Like
Love
recharge.
it. Recharge.
I don't think I've we're in this we're always in this like hustle mentality where it's like 7 days a week, gotta answer my phone, gotta do all this other kind of stuff. You'd be like shocked. Those people that work themselves to death end up they may make a little bit more money at the end of the day, but it's miserable. So um I don't know, get a massage, take a half day, go and spend time with a friend, go to a happy hour, go do whatever it is that you do to recharge, but go and get that worked in every 7 to 10 days, and it will make a big difference for the other days that you do show up.
Perfect. All right. So those are my questions that I ask all of our mentors and leaders in our Keller Williams family. I know that most of you guys are driving. So if you have a question, you can just unmute yourself and ask. If you want to just text it over in the chat box, you can. But other than that, I am finished with my section.
Cool.
Yeah,
Fun.
fun stuff. Um, Casey, do you have any properties that you guys need open houses for? I did forget to ask that question. And if so, who would we contact if they're looking for open houses?
You could we haven't taken a lot of listings this month. We kind of told our people to wait until
Wait,
January or
that's interesting.
February.
So you told a client to wait. Because I think most of us have the mentality, right, of, oh my gosh, I have a lead. I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go get them onto the market tomorrow. Expand on that little piece.
Yeah, I think if they're motivated by some timeline or some other kind of pressure, we would say go ahead and go for it. But it was funny, the leadership October leader board or whatever got sent out in the group, and we weren't even listed on the listed over 1 million thing. And it was like, so I went to the team, I'm like, that's interesting. And most of the team, they said, like, yeah, they're not in a rush. There's no real motivation. We're suggesting they wait till at least late January. Um, the most motivated buyers are out right now, but at the same time, it's like if they're not motivated to do this, we're suggesting they wait and get right before the early rush of the spring versus through the holidays.
I love how many times you just said motivated, because I think as a newer agent, it's really hard to understand. Finding your client's motivation is one of the best skills you can have. And I think you can't be more motivated than your client, because you just start working. You're like the hamster in the wheel, and you're trying to drag your client along, and I had to learn that lesson too, of like I always seemed like I wanted it more than my clients. And when you figure out motivation, you have this like cool, calm, like, hey, we're gonna wait, because they're not motivated and you're not gonna get anywhere with them. So I
Yeah,
love that you said that like 5 times in that one explanation.
yeah, like you can have, and this is straight out of Gary's mouth. This isn't me saying this, but he said there's two trains of thought when it comes to agents. The people that will list anything because they get a sign in the yard. There's nothing wrong with that, even if it's a little overpriced and they're not super motivated. And then there's the agents that want to actually, they will only focus on the people that have that motivation to go and move forward. Some kind of pain point that's like picking at them that makes them want to do it. Um, I think like, I listed a house this week that was up for foreclosure. That's one thing. It's like, okay, we got to figure something out hopefully and get this done. But the people that are like, yeah, we just, May is our timeline or something like that. What we'll do is we'll look at the neighborhood and actually take a really close look and say, is this truly the best time? Or is this a good time? Or does it make more sense to wait and see what else comes up in the neighborhood for comparable sales? Let's see how a certain listing performs in the neighborhood before we do anything. And we kind of take a good close look at all that. So
All right. Perfect. Well, that ends our call. We don't have any questions. It looks like most people are driving and stuff, but we'll get this recorded. I'll get it all out to you guys. And then, of course, you can go back and watch any of the other interviews for little Legion refreshers and goal refreshers on our YouTube channel.
thanks, Stiller. We appreciate you
Thanks.
doing
Thanks, Casey. You're getting some kudos over there in the chat. But that's
it.
it.
It's my team. That's if they're forced to give me compliments, it's good.
Oh, get off of here, Casey's team.
Yeah.
Oh, and what's the obsession with thing 1 and 2? Do you like Dr. Seuss?
What is thing 1 and 2?
You've said it like 6 times.
Did I?
Yeah.
Is that my tick?
I think that's your tick, like a little Dr. Seuss situation.
I didn't even catch that. So good, good. I'm glad I know now.
All right. Okay, bye.
See y'all.